So Badcube just released a new Masterpiece Sideswipe and Red Alert. And then we're getting a new MP10 version 3. Let's talk about Masterpiece figures for a bit. What's going on here? So when the line first started out, what exactly this figure was not well defined. They were a mix of cartoon, toy, and realistic inspirations all in one figure. However, it's been about 7 years since MP10 came out. At around 2014-2015, the line started to shift to cartoon inspiration, especially for robot mode. The alt mode sometimes, they still have that realistic inspiration, you know, of course with the Masterpiece line going so far as to get actual licensing from the car manufacturers. And then we get Sunstrigger that has both realistic and cartoon inspirations. The first challenge to Takara's Masterpiece line really was Meteor from Make Toys. Now, I don't think it was very divisive at the time it came out, simply because that mold is old. That mold first came out in 2006, and then around 2012 was retooled to be a little more cartoon accurate. So that mold has definitely shown its age, and I felt a lot of people, you know, were okay a new version of the Seeker for the MP line. But Sideswipe and Red Alert, they just recently had the anime editions come out, and those are newer molds and well-received molds. So what else in the MP line could use this retool or a new version? And now we get into stuff where it's the time between you write the script and when you record the script. I was going to say that definitely we needed a new version of MP Prime. We'd had the leaked sketch art at this point, but now we've actually seen the gray resin prototype. We've actually gotten nicer images of it aside from the first like really blurry ones we have. And I'm really jazzed for it, and I'm really glad they're doing it. So what all can they improve? Well, first of all, there's all kinds of color issues to get to this more cartoon accurate line. So, you know, blue tinted windows, the legs being solid blue without the tires on the side. The arm should be fully red. More than likely the upper legs will be white, the crotch will be white mostly. Even the grille could probably be white, although I suspect they'll still leave that chromed, but we'll see. Beyond just colors though, there's lots of other things. So as I said, the tires don't need to be there on the legs. The shape of the windows is wrong. A bunch of detail need to be simplified and streamlined. And honestly, hopefully they give us a better truck mode. We haven't seen enough of the back of that, but I felt that was always one of MP10's weakest spots, is the legs with this huge chunk on the back. So who's next? I'd have to say Dinobots. Now, I love my Fans Toys Dinobots, and with a lot of this stuff, I'm replacing them out as better versions come along. But I'll probably end up keeping my Fans Toys Dinobots. Ah, there they are. Just moved all this shit, still figuring out where it is. I'll probably still keep those as toy inspiration, but they are far cry from what we got in the animation. You know, obviously the animation was a lot simpler. We got a lot of yellow instead of gold. You know, on top of that, get some kind of bold, flat panels instead of the highly detailed panels. Do those things, and I'd totally be down to buy all 5 Dinobots over again. If that happens, I'll just take my Fans Toys ones, put them into Dino mode, and have an awesome display. So kind of just going down the list of MP releases in order from there. Next is MP09. MP09 didn't have a realistic car mode to come from, and the toy was hot garbage. Ugh. So really all they had to go through there was the cartoon. So I think on the aesthetic point of view, MP09 is good. That isn't to say the mold's perfect, but I don't feel it needs a whole new attempt. You know, something to kind of clear up some of the bars and the transformation on the shin pieces. And the hands are terrible, and something so that you could put it in Space Winnebago mode and not worry about scratching your paint would be nice. But I don't feel it warrants a whole new mold. Next to come from the MP line was, of course, Sideswipe and Red Alert. And I'm personally excited to get these Badcube releases in hand. I think Sideswipe definitely had some room for improvement with the slimmer chest, the slimmer legs, but then Red Alert had lots of room for improvement. Just a repaint of Sideswipe doesn't really get you to Red Alert's cartoon model at all. Even the car mode is different with the back window, but beyond that, you know, the doors hanging off the arm is different, the tires on the shoulders, and they even got the back side of the robots accurate. How awesome is that? So yeah, definitely looking forward to getting those in review. So next up is MP Soundwave. That's another one I think benefited from the fact that it was mostly a cartoon representation to begin with. Some of the proportions could be tweaked here and there to kind of get us a little bit more cartoon style, but really I think he just needs an anime edition. Give it some light gray, chest tinted blue, maybe a lighter blue. So yeah, I'd be down for a Soundwave Plus, but I don't feel it's a must-have. So next up we kind of get to the Datsuns, Prowl, Blue Street, Smokescreen. Haha! I think there's some room for improvement, but nothing major. The doors could be tweaked a little, the legs should probably be a little more slender and longer, but I think especially with the anime edition of Prowl coming up, I think it gets us so close there that it'd be hard to drastically change. And I think any attempts would probably have, you know, some faux back windows to make those legs look nice. So I would potentially be interested in some new Datsun molds but I don't think it's crazy. And of them, I think Prowl is the bigger offender. Bluestreak could really use the plus treatment. A much lighter flat gray, I think, would go a long way. He also has quite different lower legs, so I could see a third party doing something interesting. And that leaves us with Smokescreen, who is another case of could probably use the plus treatment. Give him some simpler colors, fix the thigh color, remove some tampos, and I think you're good. Next up is Wheeljack. We've been asking for an anime Wheeljack for how many years? I kind of wonder at this point, and maybe somebody actually knows, if that's actually the licensee not letting them do an anime edition of it, either because they no longer have the license, or if the licensor was just like, that's not an accurate color scheme. And the mold has a few minor areas that could be tweaked, but I just feel it's nothing major. I think the paint job is really all it needs. You know, the legs and feet could be narrower and the chest could be stumpier. But again, I think it really just needs a plus edition. If Takara doesn't get around to it, I would be interested in third party throwing their hat in the ring just to get that representation. Next up, it gets to our first and only official Minibot Bumblebee. Now I think in robot mode, he's pretty dead on. He looks great. You know, maybe you could have the headlights spin around, maybe tint some blue windows, but really nothing major there. However, car mode, way off. I would love to see a proper Bumblebee take for both modes to give us that penny racer look, a little chibi look in vehicle mode instead of going the licensed Volkswagen bug. Even with the upcoming third-party cliff jumpers from XTB and MMC, we still don't see that penny racer chibi look in vehicle mode for those, and that's kind of disappointment to me. Now, from here on in the line, Takara Tomy started switching to be more cartoon accurate, so you don't get near as much standout stuff from there, other than Ironhide and Ratchet's terrible hit panels, which, good news is there are multiple add-on kits out there to give you some solutions to that, but just really makes you wonder, why didn't they do that in the first place? And as Garcia is what I consider a terrible MP Hot Rod figure. You know, I pretty much dislike almost everything about that figure except for the fact that it is fun. It's a fun toy. I admit it. The proportions, though, were just way off, mostly to support that Matrix gimmick that MP40 doesn't even have. Vance Toys Hoodlum, I think, would be a nice change for that, to have the Hot Rod in a cartoon style, but their Hoodlum, which is what it's called, I believe seems to be in limbo at the moment. But really, to me, it's just a case of wanting a better toy, not that the existing one is inaccurate. So let's recap. Where am I at? I felt Prime really needed it. It's on the way. I felt the Lambo brothers needed it, especially Red Alert, and they're on the way. Soundwave needs an anime edition. Wheeljack needs an anime edition. Bluestreak needs some new legs and an anime edition. Quick Epic that I accidentally missed. Dinobot obviously needs a good cartoon version. And even Smokescreen could see some minor improvements with an anime edition. Bumblebee could definitely use a better alt mode for cartoon enthusiasts, but I just feel it's unlikely. Don't think it's realistic for it to happen, but, you know, cross my fingers. So what are your thoughts, fellow cartoon accuracy addicts? Do you think we'll ever get there? Do you think we'll just continue to buy minorly improved versions over and over again? So let me know your thoughts. Until next time.